Let's talk about Raz B. Raz B is a current cast member on the Zeus Network TV show called Bad Boys. Now, I talk to you guys all the time about the Zeus Network. It is over the top. Okay, it's over the top. A lot of people don't watch it because they say it's embarrassing. All they do on all the shows are fight. And also on the show is Raz B. Raz B is quite likable on the show. Uh, he's friends with Orlando Bloom. They kind of hang together, fight each other, stick up for each other. And it's really good. I wish I had a clip to show you guys about how over the top and how ridiculous Zeus Network is. But the difference between that and regular The Housewives is that the housewives try to pretend like they're classy and they're not. They're just as ruthless as Zeus TV. Well, Raz B, I don't know. So sometime back, he accused his cousin slash manager, Chris Stokes, of touching him. He did a lot of videos about it. He came on social media crying, angry, an array of emotions. We've been doing this for about 10 years. He's been talking about it.
I can't even go back into the mind frame of where I was at because I was 11 and 12 years old.
Chris used to have me have sex. I used to have to f Chris all the time.
God is the ultimate revenger. I'm not trying to seek revenge. I'm just like, I'm letting it be known.
And when he was on Bad Boys, he seemed okay. But maybe it's triggering for him because just a couple of weeks ago he went on social media and he was saying that he needs help and he feels scared and he needed someone to come get him, and his friends went and got him and put him in the psych ward, and then they said that he broke a window in the psych ward and he was threatening to jump. I mean, it's real. It's getting real. Let me see if I can get rid of this. This is the article. It says B2K singer Raz B breaks a hospital window and climbs onto the roof before police negotiator lures him back. It was very, very, it was emotional watching this because I don't want him to jump place when you feel like you want to do this. And so I really felt compassion for him. Like, please don't jump. It was it was on social media. Everybody was talking about it. This is the video. I'm not going to play it. When he was asking his friends for help, and something's just wrong. Something's just wrong with Raz B. And then he comes out and said that he made everything up, that Chris never touched him. Anyway, let me play this. I have this old footage. I went back because I remember I was watching him in 2020, and he was on Jason Lee's show. And he was talking to Jason about what had happened to him. So, and he went in kind of detail about what happened to him. Let me see if I can post this up here. And Jason was being very compassionate. So you've heard about Raz B saying that Chris Stokes did bad things to him. So then I remember him being on Jason's show, and Jason was very compassionate with him. And he was saying, if this is happening to you, you have to tell your story. It could help other people, but you've got to be consistent. I remember him saying that. And I went back and found the tape. And on the tape, he actually says again, yeah, Chris did this to me. And he also named a couple other people. So at the time, Jason had blocked out the name Chris, but everybody knows he's talking about Chris. So you think it's an internal battle that he's struggling with and going back and forth. Let me play this clip on Jason Lee. He said, yeah. And then he said he wasn't the only one. And he lists other people. And one of them was was Marcus Houston. Just let me play this.
With some integrity. I mean, what you want to talk about? Some people so nosy, they want to know, well, how was it in the room? What time? But I will let everybody know this. Just one quick story. I remember being in the room with I was about 12 or 13 years old. And he was asking me questions about this and about my book and what type of things I'm gonna write in the book and what are you gonna say about me? Like, this nigga was already on some shit. And like, can I touch it? Like, you know what I'm saying? He was looking to manipulate a child to get consent. You can any adult can get a child to pretty much say what they want them to say because they're manipulating them. And I was a master manipulator, and his partner Katrina Tazascu was a fucking master manipulator.
Mhm. And so,
Her hands is dirty too.
Mhm. Where is blame for you? Where do you put blame in all of the experiences that you had to go through? Who's to blame?
I would want to blame my mom, but my mom wasn't. You know, she was going through her trials and tribulations at that time. It would have to fall on maybe my cousin and my brother. Ricky molested me. Marcus Houston molested me, and molested me.
And you had nothing to do with that, right? I mean, you don't, because sometimes we as victims, we blame ourselves. We put ourselves in a situation, we didn't tell nobody. You do know you don't own any of that, right?
Yeah, and yeah. It took me a while because they used to try to blame it on me, saying, "Oh, well, you started all this, man. My nigga Marcus, man, them niggas is man."
See, that didn't feel that didn't feel made up to me. He's
No.
listing names. He got in detail. He said the guy said, "Let me look at it," and I just feel so bad for Raz B.
Raz B, yeah.
Raz, I really do. It's something he's struggling with. But
Yeah.
anyway, my point of bringing all this up is that Tasha K just released this snippet saying that she's going to interview the brother. This is so hard to, and I'm glad. Listen, Tasha K has the best interviews, and this is another one. And I feel like the interview has to take place because some people would say, well, it's obvious he doesn't want to talk about it. You know, you can't make anyone talk about it. But here's the thing. He's been everywhere, not just Jason Lee's show. He's been on Vlad TV. He's been everywhere talking about it like this. He's really hurting. And I'm hoping that the brother's supposed to be telling his story. Let me just go ahead and put this up really quick.
The recent post that he made saying that he wanted to take back the allegations that his cousin, of course, y'all cousin Chris Stokes, molested him as a child.
Well, I, I know that he's tired of the bullshit, you know what I'm saying, of this ongoing, never-ending, story that never seems to end. I know he wants to move on with his life, but, clearly, shit, man, them damn flashbacks or something,
Were you ever touched by Chris Stokes?
I mean, yeah, it was.
So were you were you a child? Like, was he?
Not in the, I wasn't finished. There was never no penetration and no shit like that.
Okay, so when you say touch, what do you mean?
My dick. The motherfucker touch your dick and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It was more of a learning. It was more like in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole learning process. Showing.
What do you think, Perry? Should they stop talking about this?
You know what though? I mean, sometimes talking about it, putting it out there, sometimes could be the cure, right? Because I think most of them want to avoid the conversation, or like in their mind want to erase it, right? It happened, and it's no fault of theirs, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? You got these predators out there, right? And then just like what he was just saying just now, well, yeah, he did do it to me, because he's still gonna admit, like, hold him to blame, but he just touched it. Most of them feel like it's a heavy violation if it went further, right? So more likely it went further, but they don't want to admit to that part, right? Because it's like, for a man, it just takes your manhood away.